They were the other three I wanted to mention, really: Timber, Ethan, and Max.
They've been brilliant. I think Timber. I think about it a bit more now, but top of my head, I think Timber's got a shout for being the best one-on-one defender in the league.
Facts.
I think one-on-one, I never see him get beat. I hardly ever see him get beat. I just think he's brilliant. I hope that the injury that he had a couple of years ago that has gone, and I hope that he's settled and he's back to full fitness. Because if he is, we've got an absolute beast. I love him too.
I remember being really upset, not just when he got injured, because I was excited when we signed Timber. I was excited when we signed Timber as like Rice. I remember we signed Rice, and I thought, oh, that's brilliant. But this Timber kid is wicked. And he got injured, I was gutted.
Dan, you're right. That summer, I was more excited about Timber than the Rice signing. I was gasped we got Rice, but I was saying to people, this Timber, we've got a don't sleep on this guy. This guy's a problem. So brilliant. Wanieri, brilliant talent. I'm not all in on Wanieri just yet. Not just yet. I thought he played well on the weekend, without being amazing. I thought his performances were slightly inflated. And I don't know if that's youth tax that we've put on him, because he's a teenager. We kind of inflate what he does, but I like him, and as I mentioned, I'd start him if Odegaard is out on the weekend. I would start him. It's a bit of a wild card. The Dalman one's interesting because I'm in the minority here, right? That's fine. I own my truth. I'm not comfortable with a child playing men's football, right?
The way you said that. Go on.
I'm just not. I'm not comfortable with a child playing first team Premier League football. Now, people always say, yeah, but if he's good enough, he's old enough. It's not about ability for me. He's clearly good enough to play men's football. Like, that's not a question. It's more about, he's a child. People, all my friends are like laughing at me. And I think as Arsenal fans, because he's good, we kind of bypass his age. Like, because he's so good, we just kind of like, we forget the fact that he's 15 years old. I'm not comfortable with that, but that's just me. If it was my child, and again, friends of mine of the weekend, if someone offered your child a £10 million contract to play, trust me, you'd play them. No, I wouldn't, because the psychological impact of things going wrong for life are not worth it for my child. So that's just my view. First of all,
you wouldn't see Dalman at all this year. You just say keep him in the reserves.
I would say keep him in the under 21s, and when he's 18, Arsenal, he's all yours. But until then, I wouldn't. No, as a parent, I'm not. I wouldn't be doing it if it was my child. But anyway, the family are fine with it. Arsenal are fine with it. It's being done. So
let me just ask you on that just quickly, Jordan. Sorry, let me just ask you one more on that, because I know you're in a rush as well, mate. But
no.
With the Dalman thing, I'm the other way. I think if you're good enough, you're old enough, because what I have seen in pre-season and in the last couple of games when he has played in the Premier League, obviously he only played the weekend, it lifted me out of my seat and it got me excited. And I think Arsenal have needed players like that for some time. I don't think we've had in the attack anybody like that under Mikel Arteta that I look at, other than Bukayo Saka, that I go, wow, he's the one, give him the ball. And the confidence that the men's team have with him passing the ball to him. You know, when you sometimes will protect that player at all costs, don't really put him in that position. They just give him the ball and he's fearless. He's won 3 penalties in the last 5 games, Jordan, right? That means he's like a Jack Grealish. He always gets fouled. He's always willing to go, not go down and dive, but certainly he'll go down and win the penalties and win the fouls. He's also got unbelievable ability at 15. And I think, although I don't say burn him out and, by 25, hopefully, we would have got something out of him. I think kind of the opposite. If you are ready, you have to manage it correctly, but don't waste. My kind of question to you is, what do you think could go wrong? Do you look at long-term injury or burnout? Or
I'll tell you. So again, but your response there is regarding his ability. I'm not doubting his ability. I'm not here saying at 15 years old, his ability. Yeah, and people in the chat are giving me other players that have played Lamau, Messi at a young age. People need to listen properly and understand. Like, listen, and you might learn something. I'm not saying there aren't kids and teenagers that haven't broke through and had brilliant careers. I'm not saying that. I'm not even saying Dalman won't have a brilliant career. I'm also not saying that on ability, he's not good enough to be in the squad, because he clearly is, right? I'm saying there's got to be a level of protection for him, that if I'm his parent, I have to protect this child. He's still a child. We talk about him as an Arsenal player. He's 15. And I think he's just turned 15 as well recently, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is when he has a bad game, right, he'll be on social media, 2 bad games, and he gets people abusing him, telling him that he's the most overrated teenager of all time. How does that affect him? If how he's clearly got some he's got there's someone in his family that's clearly of Afro Caribbean heritage, right? What happens when he has a bad game and he gets 1,000 emojis sent to him on Twitter? How does that affect him? How does that really impact him psychologically long term? So if you're asking me if I want to risk my child at a teenage age because he's good enough, but forego the psychological impact that can happen to him for the rest of his life, it's not worth it for me. And people are saying, oh yeah, but Arsenal have professionals. They wouldn't let him play if he wasn't ready. I'm sorry. No one cares about my child more than me, right? Arsenal might have experts. I care about my child. That's what I'm saying. So people can disagree and they will disagree. And I understand why. But I'm saying take off your football hat for a second. Yeah, for a second. It's a child. I'm uncomfortable with it. So you can call me woke as they are. You can call me weak. You can call me all these things. It's fine. That's no problem. I'm just saying, if he wasn't an Arsenal player, many of these people that are in the chat wouldn't be agreeing with playing him because he's our player and he's exciting. Throw him in, yay, throw him in. But not thinking about the long-term impact of this potentially going wrong. We all know stories of people that have been signed at a young age and dropped for whatever reason, and they're never the same player or the person. It messes them up. We know there's thousands of those stories. There's not many Lamals around. There's not many Messis. There's not many stories of teenagers that break through and have great careers. Those stories are few and far between. Yeah, but there's thousands of kids who break through too young and it messes their head up for life. So I'm just saying I'm uncomfortable with it, but I'm also acknowledging he's in the squad. So my opinion doesn't really matter, does it, Dan? My opinion is just my opinion. I'm just offering it as a caveat to he played very, very well. He's a phenomenal talent, but I'm just being honest by saying, but I'm not comfortable with a child. He's a child playing Premier League men's football. And if it was my child, it's not happening. That's all.
Okay. So you rate the talent, phenomenal talent, not sure about the mentality situation because of his age. What about Rooney at 16? Was you the same? Rooney at 16, was you the same?
No, it's the same. I don't care how good you are. Play him in the under 21s. And at 18, he's all yours. When he's 18, he's all yours. All yours.
Well, you're the same with Miles Lewis Skelly and Ethan last season.
Yeah, yes, I was on TalkSport 3 years ago. I think it was Jason Cundy was saying he thought Mikel Arteta was playing Ethan Wanieri for his own PR purposes.
Oh, I remember that.
I didn't agree with that, but I did agree with the fact that I didn't like it. I didn't agree with the 50. He's 15. My man's got GCSEs in a few weeks. What are we doing here? These are children.
It's an interesting debate.
I'll be the minority of one, Dan. I don't care. I don't care. I don't business.
That's standard for you, bro. That's standard for you.
Yeah, but I'm not saying it to be provocative or controversial. I'm just saying we get caught up.
You say how you feel. And look, I think it's an interesting debate. I'm with Jonathan in the chat. I think it's a very interesting debate. I don't think either of us are saying this player's not good. I don't think either of us are saying this guy's not got a phenomenal talent. I think where we differ is I think if you're good enough, you're old enough, you think protect him at all costs mentally. And you know what? I respect that. And look, I don't have children. And I, maybe fathers see this as a different thing than I do. I'm looking at it from a pure football perspective. I think he's going to be an unbelievable talent. I mean, I've not seen anything like that at 14. Yeah. I see him at 13. He was unbelievable.
I have no doubt. And people, when he scores a brilliant goal in the North London derby, and I'm waxing lyrical about him, people will be like, oh, you see, when he scores goals for Arsenal, you're happy now. Listen, I'm not his dad. So if his family are okay playing for Arsenal at that age, then fine. If they're fine with it, then whatever. He's an Arsenal player. I will cheer him when he scores goals. He's a phenomenal talent. I'm just saying I'm uncomfortable with it. Doesn't mean I won't support him or cheer for him or rate him. I'm saying. Anyway, you get it.
No, I do. I get it. And I think some people in the chat won't, but that's the way it is, man. And that's what I love about the show. That's what I love about the show, man. We get a difference of opinions. Let's do a couple of these super chats before we come to a close. Witness, I don't ever want to hear or see or speak about this moment ever again. But yes, Arteta is a freak in that respect. Correct. Guna Carlos says, issue is if you wait, the best youth will leave us. What do you make to this statement?
I think there are more important things in football. So I think if you have a youngster that says, play me now, or I'm going to go to Chelsea, or I'm going to go to another team. I mean, this is a bigger discussion, Dan. This is capitalism, right? This is about let's rinse these kids because they're talented, they're going to make us money. I'm just saying there's a duty of care. And if you're a responsible club or a parent, I just don't think playing a 15-year-old is particularly, just because he's really good, is particularly the right thing to do. But someone put a counterpoint to me the other day when I made this point that you got to respect talent, right? You got to respect talent. Talent is good enough to be in the squad, then fine. But look at the scrutiny he's going to be under. Think about his social. I follow him on social media. His account has gone up by 80% in the last month. These numbers, the scrutiny when he messes up. Yeah, he'll have coaches around him supporting him, but he's a child. He's a child, man.
Look, I hear it. He's a child, and that is probably going to be one clip that I do use because this has been a good debate now. So prepare for the abuse you get, Jordan. But yeah, you know, it is what it is.